House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan is holding a, quote, field hearing in Manhattan.
Yeah, he is zeroing in on the credibility, which he sees as weak, of District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Jordan says that New Yorkers are suffering from an increase in violent crime, and the district attorney is not listening to victims. It's a hearing that follows, of course, the charges against former President Donald Trump, a case that some Republicans call politically motivated.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is joining us now from Capitol Hill. Nikole, why did the Judiciary Committee feel the need, or what are they expressing about what they're saying is a need for this hearing and for it to happen here in New York?
Well, a lot of this is to really, put the blame on Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and try to depict him as soft on crime. As you know, the committee has been trying for some time now to get Bragg in to come in and sit down, at least for some type of transcribed interview with the panel regarding his decision to indict the former president. And the district attorney has all but shut that down, saying that Congress shouldn't interfere with his investigation, and even going so far as to sue the panel, which is now trying to talk to a former prosecutor who was with the office and involved in the Trump investigation. So that being said, this is really about that ongoing back and forth. And by being in New York today, the committee really trying to send a signal here that they want to take Alvin Bragg to task, even if they can't bring him before the panel. They are now trying to bring the fight to him by holding this hearing today on what they say are victims of Bragg, given what they say is crime out of control in New York, although certainly the district attorney's office argues to the contrary, saying that, in fact, their enforcement actions have been up and that crime has been down. So just part of the ongoing back and forth between the two sides.
Yeah, Nikole, the New York Daily News had some fun at Jim Jordan's expense today, pointing out that Jordan's home state of Ohio has a higher murder rate, violent crime rate, than New York does. And in fact, Columbus, the capital of Ohio, lovely city, lived there for a time, has 3 times the murder rate as New York City. So the Daily News doing Alvin Bragg's bidding, it would seem, and making those points in the paper this morning. But, Democrats have also been able to speak at this hearing. And in the opening statement from New York Congressman and ranking member Jerry Nadler, he said that Jordan is doing all this not because of the numbers, but because of, quote, the bidding of Donald Trump. He's, quote, doing Donald Trump's bidding. So what are Democrats likely to focus on today, given that background?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you've heard that argument been made by a number of Democrats during this hearing, not only, noting the fact that there are crime rates that are higher in other jurisdictions like Ohio. In fact, Adam Schiff, former impeachment manager, former member of the January 6th Select Committee, questioned why they were even doing this in New York, saying, well, this just happens to be convenient. If you really want to talk about crime, why aren't we doing this somewhere else? And also, Democrats have been making the point that Jerry Nadler, the ranking member, has made, and that they think that many members on this panel are, again, just doing the former president's bidding here by trying to defend him, given, again, this indictment that was put forth by Alvin Bragg. And also, they're trying to counter-program a bit here by suggesting that we should be, if you're going to talk about crime, then let's talk about other issues, especially the issue of gun violence, which they feel that Republicans have neglected and aren't doing enough about it here on Capitol Hill. So there's been a lot of back and forth in this hearing. It's been quite animated at times, with even some protesters having to be booted out of this hearing for also getting engaged in some of this back and forth, not only between lawmakers, but even between some of the attendees.
All right, we and taxpayers will be watching to see what comes from this hearing. Nikole Killion, thank you.